Welcome to the first ever comprehensive Jefferson County State of the County. My name is Kristi Pollard, and I'm very pleased to be here with you today to celebrate the great things happening in the best county in the state of Colorado. So first things first, I'm going to take a picture of all of you. And the reason behind this is, I'm sure you've all seen the news, and there's this thing called a cyclone bomb. I'm not really sure what that is, but I feel like we should document it. And, as Jefferson County residents and business leaders, we're all hardy people. So this will be going on social media. So thank you for all of you being here today. We are going to be posting on social media. The picture that I just took will be the first, and we welcome all of you to take pictures, post your thoughts, post your pictures. Our comments will be at hashtag SOTC, hashtag Jeffco, and hashtag Jeffco EDC. Okay, now that we've got the social media thing away, we know that everything will be saved in the annals of Facebook and Twitter for eternity. So before we begin, I want to make a few thank yous. First, to our event sponsor, Brownstein, Hyatt, Farber, Schreck. Thank you so much for your support for this event. We also have some great event partners: the City of Arvada, Bandimere Speedway, Denver West Business Park, First Bank, J.E. Dunn, Johns Manville, Kaiser Permanente, the City of Lakewood, Lockheed Martin, Martin & Martin, Metro West Housing Solutions, Miller Coors, the National Renewable Energy Laboratories, Sheraton Denver West, Stream Realty, and Xcel Energy. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize the men and women who serve on the Jefferson County Economic Development Corporation Board. These folks volunteer their time every week, every month to help increase the economic vitality here in Jefferson County and help to make it the best place to live, work, and play. So if I can have my board please stand so that we can thank you. Today, we are here to celebrate Jefferson County as a catalyst for innovation. At Jeffco EDC, we are particularly pleased with the partnerships we have with the business community, our cities and county, and our local elected officials. And we know that the economic vitality that we're currently experiencing would not be happening if it weren't for the entire team pulling in the same direction. And I'm delighted to report that in 2018, these amazing partnerships that we have resulted in the creation of 1,860 new primary jobs to Jefferson County. On the real estate side, in 2018, we saw the absorption of almost 486,000 square feet and 41 acres of real estate. So those are pretty profound numbers. And we saw almost $117 million in new capital investment. This spirit of collaboration also led Jefferson County on a course to be the state's newest foreign trade zone, and we're excited to offer that as a tool to all of our companies here in Jefferson County. And this morning, I'm going to let you in on a little insider news that's going to be coming out a little bit later today. We have a number of amazing partners here in Jefferson County and companies, many of whom are with us this morning. But one of the great assets that we have here in Jefferson County, it's also a great asset to the state of Colorado, is the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. And they're sitting over here. Later this morning, NREL is going to be publishing and pushing out to the news an economic impact report that they recently did with the CU Lead School of Business. And this report shows that NREL has had an economic impact to the state of Colorado of almost $1 billion. So let's give NREL a round of applause. Even with that, though, there's more to do. And with your help, 2019 is going to be the best year Jefferson County has ever had. So before I invite our first distinguished guest up to share some remarks, I want to point out that at your table, there are some cards These cards are for questions that you might have of our elected officials. We're going to have some volunteers come around and collect those at 8:30 this morning, and we'll take a few minutes at the close of the prepared remarks to answer some of those questions. For those of you that have friends or family that weren't able to make it today, I can see some of our tables, the snow may have kept some folks at home, but we will be posting this on the Jefferson County website, all of the videos, and any questions that we may not be able to have time to answer, we will also post responses to those questions on the county website as well. So with that, I would like to introduce Commissioner Casey Tye.
Well, thanks, Kristi, and thank you all for being here. I got to admit that when I woke up this morning and I could hear the rain and it was dark, I was tempted to roll over and go back to sleep. So I'm impressed everybody is here today. Thanks for being here. You know, Commissioner Sabo and I have been talking for a number of years about how can we engage the community. We've had events, we've had kind of state of the county events before, but they weren't, real big and comprehensive. And we were trying to figure out what could we do to make this a bigger, better event. And we talked to staff about it. We bounced different ideas. And then we went to the Jeffco EDC and Kristi and her team about doing something where we included all the electeds from Jefferson County government to engage the community. And they just picked up and ran with it. And look at this. This is absolutely incredible. So I want to give a round of applause to Kristi and her team, EDC, for getting this together. This is the first state of the county of this iteration, of this big comprehensive approach. And it's been very impressive how it's been organized. What we're going to try to do today is take a broad overview of what's going on in Jefferson County and introduce you to our elected officials. A lot of them are new. We've got some elected officials who are just starting off in their careers, and it's going to be exciting to hear what they have going on. Then we have a couple of experienced elected officials that are working on these things. But right now I'd like to have them stand up and be acknowledged. So could the Jefferson County DA, Sheriff, Clerk of Records, you stand up right now and be acknowledged? I want everyone to know you're here. Sheriff Schrader. I'm not going to introduce them because you're going to hear from each of them later in the program. That's one of the great things about this. One of the challenges we had was when we were talking about doing this is, typically elected officials are really relatively short of words. And so when we did talk about having all the elected officials engaged in this, how are we going to manage the time to make sure everybody had an opportunity to speak without, taking up your entire morning? So I think Kristi and her team and our staff in our public information office have organized a program that will hopefully give you the information you need to get you out on time. One of the things we're going to focus on, if you went outside, you saw that we're trying to focus on our mission, vision, values, and goals. We had posters outside talking about those mission, vision, values, and goals. Everything we do in Jefferson County, we want to make sure we're focused on accomplishing those goals, meeting our vision, and achieving our vision. So we're trying to make sure that everything we do focuses on that. And when we do our program today, we're going to try to keep those ideas in mind when we talk about what we've done and where we're going. We're going to focus also on three specific areas. We're going to talk about collaboration, resiliency, and fiscal realities. I'm going to talk to you about collaboration. Commissioner Szabo is going to talk about resiliency and innovation. And Commissioner Dalkamper, you're the newest elected official, so you get the prize for talking about fiscal realities. Seniority does have its privileges. So I got to talk to you about how we cooperate and work together, and it is amazing in Jefferson County how we have partners throughout the county that help deliver services to make this county such a great place to live, work, and play. I'm going to focus on just a few of the things we do. We've got city partners who we work with in special districts that really help make things happen. And I'm going to ask right now, if any electeds from any of the special districts or the cities are here, could you please stand up and be recognized if you're here today? Any elected officials? I see Peggy from RTD. Any other elected officials here? I wanted to acknowledge them because it is so important that we work together. You're going to hear throughout the day, we talk about different ways that Jefferson County works in coalition, in cooperation with the cities. We have Jeffco, our new communications for emergency services. That's been in online operational now for about a year. It's all the cities and most of the cities and special districts working together. When you call 911, you come to a consolidated dispatch. We hope that improves services and safety for our citizens. We also hope in the long run it'll save us some money. Foothills Animal Shelter is another great example of how the cities came together to provide much needed services for our pets. 8,000 pets came through that shelter last year, either lost pets that needed to find a way home or pets that needed to be adopted. Foothills Animal Shelter is doing a great job, and all the cities helped make that happen. You're going to hear more about a homeless initiative where all the cities are working together on a homeless initiative. In Jefferson County, we've got a great open space program. We've got great trails. The cities have worked with the county on making sure those trails are connected as much as possible, that our signage is consistent so people know where they're going, don't get lost on our trails, and they can take advantage of that trail system. So I want to thank our city partners on that. But we also want to do more going forward. We have a regular county commissioner, mayor, elected official breakfast where we talk about different issues. We want to keep pushing the envelope to make sure we're cooperating, coordinating things as much as we can. I know our sustainability committee in Jefferson County wants to work with each of the sustainability efforts in the cities to have a coordinated program. We'd like to see that we can talk about the jurisdictional lines between incorporated and unincorporated and how we deliver services to the different citizens. We need to do a better job of that, and going forward, we want to keep improving our services in that regard. We also have great nonprofits in the faith community that help us provide services in Jeffco. We have a cold weather shelter that's provided by our faith communities. When it's cold outside, when it's going to be a weather like it's going to be tonight, if you're homeless, it's a real challenge. Our churches have stepped up, and they have rotating locations where people can go to get shelter. The faith community has stepped up with coordination with our county human services office to make that possible. The Jefferson Center for Mental Health stepped up a little over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, when there was the withdrawal management program that Arapahoe House ran. That was going to have to close. And the Jefferson Center for Mental Health stepped up and bought that building and is now providing withdrawal management services for our community. We also, the Jefferson Center for Mental Health is providing, they bought an apartment house, and they're working with our one of our specialty courts, the mental health court, to help provide housing stability for people as they go through the legal system and are trying to deal with mental health programs. You're also going to hear from Pete Weir going forward about a new initiative he has going regarding porch lights, so stay tuned for that. Commissioner Del Camper, I think in the media, don't they call that a tease? I just do a little tease there. So yeah, a little promo there that Pete Weir is going to be talking. You're talking about porch light. That's a really exciting new initiative, and listen for that. The business community also works with us, and we really want to thank the business community for what they do. Excel Energy worked with our Sustainability Commission on Partners in Energy, where we met with different neighborhood groups where people could find out how they could make their houses more energy efficient and what they could do to save energy. They could also get a home energy audit if they wanted. So thank you, Excel Energy, for that. I volunteered on Comcast Cares Days. Comcast has a program where their employees give back to the community. I worked with them volunteering at the Action Center. I could list, there's just too many to list. I want to do one shout out to Miller Coors. I know they're back there. Miller Coors, I always talk about the fact that they have a zero landfill facility. That great big plant there in Golden doesn't do anything to landfill. And that's just being a great community partner. And I always want to talk about that anytime we can. And of course, Jeffco EDC is a great partner as well. And then finally, I can't talk about collaboration. I don't talk about our citizens. We've got great citizens that volunteer. They've built our open space trails. They work with all the nonprofits. They work in our libraries. Our citizens are the best. So going forward, we want to continue to build those relationships and continue to have a good collaboration. Then finally, I want to talk about, we're talking about different, mission, vision, values, and goals. We've identified 3 lines of effort where we want to make sure we provide services in an efficient way. We're talking about stewardship, health and wellness, and safety. We're kind of looking at how we divide the government up in that regard. And I've got the great privilege of introducing this next video segment where some of our elected officials are going to talk about stewardship and how they delivered services in a responsible way for the citizens. I think we're going to hear from the treasurer, the clerk and recorder, the surveyor, and the The coroner. No, the assessor. The assessor. And the assessor. They're the stewardship group. So thank you all for being here, and now we'll cut to our first video.